You're listening to the Anxiety Ridden Moms Club, Season 2. I'm Kylie.
And I'm Gina. Real moms, real anxiety, real conversations. Let's dive in because chaos is our cardio.
Welcome back to the Anxiety Ridden Moms Club, the place where we talk about anxiety, motherhood, and all the little coping mechanisms we allegedly use to survive.
Allegedly. And today we're revisiting a topic that hit home for a lot of you, our relationship with substances, alcohol, THC, gummies, nicotine, basically everything moms joke about on TikTok, but secretly Google at 2 a.m.
And before anyone clutches their pearls, this is not a shame episode. This is a real talk episode. Lighthearted, honest, sprinkle of humor, dash of science, so we can pretend we researched.
Let's be real. Moms are out here trying to quiet the brain gremlins. Overwhelm, intrusive thoughts, sensory overload. It's a lot.
Those damn gremlins. Substances are easy, fast, and socially normalized. Mommy needs wine culture didn't come from nowhere.
Fun stat. Around 1 in 5 adults use substances specifically to cope with stress or anxiety. So if that's you, you're not alone. You're human.
1 in 5. That doesn't seem, that means 4 out of 5 don't.
Right, it's pretty good.
I think those are, yeah. Huh. Scratch this episode. We don't even need to do it. I don't know. 1 in 5. I don't know where you got that number from. I don't know if I believe it. The world's chaotic. Kids are screaming, laundry multiplying, work emails dinging. Your brain says, you know what would help? A drink. And we're here to say, we get it.
We do.
We
For
do.
sure.
Now, my last job made me want to drink all the time. And I did drink all the time. And I smoked pot heavily. I've been in my new role since April. And it wasn't until giving season. I'm in the philanthropy space for a financial tech company we know. And the Tuesday after Thanksgiving is Giving Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And we're 4 of us on our team and we work together. It's great teamwork. Like everything is great. One of them left us. And so she left us the week before Thanksgiving, I think. So we're down a man. Mm-hmm. And then it was Giving Tuesday. And then, coming off of Thanksgiving break, it was the longest week of my life. And I will say, since I've started this job in April, it was the first time I was like, Mama needs a whole bottle of Fireball, not wine, Fireball. And I felt like I was finally getting a grasp on, my part of what I'm doing. And like, it's fun because I'm like, oh my God, this is a whole new thing. I'm learning it. I'm killing it. Like, oh, great. And then now since this girl left, I'm also trying to learn like some of the things she did. So like that was overwhelming to me. And it was just, so the first time since April, I was like, where's the Fireball, baby? Because I wanted
a break.
I wanted a break.
Mental shutdown.
I wanted something to just turn my mind off.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think alcohol is like the OG substance. Don't you think? I mean, I think it's the main go-to is alcohol.
Used to be.
Well, true. But I think that it still starts there. So even if like, okay, so like now we have, everybody's into the gummies and, and having marijuana in one form or another. But I just think that always alcohol has been the first typical go-to that people go, you know what I mean? Whether it's even just simply like the mom who has to have like a glass of wine, at least several nights a week just to relax and, chill or, you know what I mean? Like, I just think that alcohol is a definitely quick go-to. I think marijuana is jumping drastically now, but.
I was going to say, and maybe we need to talk about alcohol specifically first and then kind of loop back in the gummies and the THC, because I do have some questions as you being my elder.
Oh, Lord. Don't call me your elder.
No. Where I know, I'm kidding. I did it to annoy you. But I don't know. I feel like there are some people in your generation and older that still think like the THC, like the taboo, like my dad, for example, wanted to punch me in the face when we were in Colorado before it was legal in Illinois and Missouri and Illinois. And I was like, we gotta go to a dispensary. We gotta go to a dispensary. And like, I was on his ever loving nerve because he just doesn't get it. And it's still a drug to him and it's not. And so I want to dive into that. But first I want to touch on alcohol.
Okay.
Because I think you're right. I think it is the OG substance for people your age.
This bitch says something about my age again.
Oh man. Alcohol can temporarily calm anxiety, but it actually increases anxiety within 12 to 24 hours, which is why the hangxiety is a literal psychological term now.
Right. It's like borrowing calm from tomorrow, paying it back in interest.
I feel like that was Xanax too. Like, if I take a Xanax, like it calms me down like in the moment, but then the next day it comes back like twice as bad. It's like the rebound anxiety. And so I don't use Xanax at all because I can't deal with the way it makes me feel.
And see, honestly, for a long time, I think everybody has at least some form of anxiety. I don't even care who you are. I think it always has some sort of creeping up on you. But I really was more of the type of person where typically I would have that happen. Like it's just been a couple months worth of like one thing after the other, after the other, after the other. And then that's when I would be like, okay, seriously, like I need some good drinks. I need a weekend. I need a night off. And we have some friends that are up the street, and that's when it would be like, come over, we're going to have a fire, bring your alcohol.
For sure.
I mean, just to like blow off steam and get it over with, because my anxiety by that point would just be the point, like it just needs to shut down for a little bit. And then I would move on and get over it. I think that menopause definitely has made anxiety increase some from what it used to be. And so I definitely can tell, the difference of how you're like, maybe a glass of wine a little more often wouldn't hurt anybody. I'm not really into substances in general. If I did pick something, it definitely would be alcohol, though.
Well, I mean, there was a time.
It makes me happy and laugh more than I already do.
Yeah, there was a time, prior to my divorce when we were still living together, and like I was miserable and didn't want to come home. And one of my really, really good friends owned a pub 3 minutes from work. And so it was super easy to go and have a drink, unwind, whatever. And, several of us got in the habit of going up from work, bitching about work. So it was a good like release. And then I would come home and I would do the mom thing. And it definitely became more of a habit and an unhealthy one. But since, I know this personally because I've been on my own health journey now with the GLP-1s and exercise and rebuilding my relationship with myself, and drinking less was a huge part of that. Also, when I stopped working my corporate job, like I didn't feel the need to drink all the time. And it was never to the point where I was drinking every night or anything of that sort. Right. But it was definitely probably to an unhealthy point. And there were definitely nights where I got to an unhealthy level of how much I would consume, because the more you drink, the more you can tolerate, the more you can tolerate and then you just black out and get fucking ridiculous and, fall into bushes and shit.
I've always been a good cheap date.
I could throw them back, man. Well, there was a group of us that used to party hard, and I was, two of us would joke like, it's time for the Red Bull, and the Tito's and Red Bull was my thing, and the Red Bull really did give you wings. And then one night I was laying in bed, and it was like 3 a.m, and we had to get up for conferences the next day, and my heart was fucking palpitating out of my chest, and I was like, I gotta lay off the Red Bull. Yes. Like I can't sleep. Yes. I can't sleep. But I do, and for whatever reason, I guess I'm gonna throw out Charlie Kirk's name again too, but I do feel like the tides are kind of changing a little bit, where alcohol was such a big thing. But I guess I want your thoughts on kind of alcohol. Why do we feel like we need alcohol to have fun? Why is when we're in a social setting, one of the first things we do, drink alcohol? Well, you know what I mean?
Because I think at the end of the day, if you act a fool, right? If you act silly, you do something that if you were sober, you know what I mean, you'd be humiliated over it. But at least if you're drunk, it gives everybody the excuse that, oh, well, they were just drinking. So nobody cares. You know what I mean? So I think it gives you such a permission slip to laugh that much more, you know, be silly, do something that you dance like a fool.
A permission slipper is it really calming your mind and your anxiety to let you let go or let you let loose. You know what I mean?
Yes. Well, that's why I think that's the thing. I think it's permission slip to do what you're wanting it to do. So if I just want to I want to just chill out and relax, have a, glass or two and that's it. And then you're just going to just kind of enjoy just being calming my mind. Or do I want to act like an idiot and be silly and funny and,
See, I can definitely, I'll say you're definitely the have one or two just to calm down, calm your mind. I don't drink unless I'm getting fucking hammered. Like, unless it's like we're going out and we're getting fucked up and we're going to sing karaoke and dance all night and do I don't drink. I do, like I said, going through the divorce, I got into a habit of it. But since I left that job, I don't drink ever. Now, if you were like, hey, we're going to go to Grafton and we're going to get tore up from the floor up, fuck yeah, I'm in and I will drink all day and we'll have the time of our lives. Right. But I don't have that one or two glass of wine to calm down. That's just not who I am.
So here's the thing I can tell. Like when I was younger, I liked it to have a good time and have fun and be laughing and just have a great night. But since I had gotten autoimmune, you're kind of screwed me. So so then you start realizing and then you get older anyways. You get older and the more and more too that you think that. But I really couldn't drink like that anymore because I could really drink before I had an autoimmune. So it was just kind of one of those things where
you could really tolerate it. You mean you could drink and drink and drink and drink and drink?
I could drink a lot, way too much for my.
So you don't know the puke and rally?
No,
you get fucking hammered and then you puke and then you keep getting hammered.
No. But I wouldn't. I mean, honestly, I would be I would never throw up till the next morning, anyways. If I was going to get sick, and I used to when I was young. McDonald's was my best friend. So if you woke up after you've been drinking, you go straight to McDonald's. You get you a cheeseburger, a Coke, and some fries. Totally fine.
Yeah. And you, as you get older, I will feel like trash.
Yes, I
will feel like trash for a week afterwards and it's not worth it. You work 5 days a week, you have 2 to get shit done. So if I'm going out and getting tore up from the floor up at any point in the, I had an uncle say that one time and now it's just stuck. And so we say it all the time, kind of making fun, but we're getting tore up from the floor up. Yep. Then I'm not fucking productive. Then I want to die and lay my ass on the couch or my head under a blanket because light hurts my head. It tears up my stomach. It tears up my head. It makes me dehydrated and it takes me, I think 36 years old and 3-day hangover. And I don't got time for that. Not to mention I gotta go work on Monday and figure out what the fuck I'm trying to learn here.
I don't want to throw away a day to be recouping. Now there was one time that I got, tanked up and my sister we had to move her the next day and I drank way too much with our friends and I had no intention. We were just hanging out at their house and I just we were just having a good time and they even said they're like, you're a fun drunk, you're not that annoying drunk. So they just kept giving me more. Once you're drunk you're just like, oh sure, I'll have more, whatever. And so we went to move and the kids were all there and they just thought I was sick, and since I have an autoimmune they just assumed I was sick with my autoimmune. And I, of course, did not say anything. I just don't really feel good. And it was a hot day. And I mean, hot. And you're hungover. Oh, it was horrible.
That is the worst.
And then finally,
I don't know. The worst is sitting in a litter box meeting, leadership meeting.
And being hungover.
And wanting to die. And you can't move your leg because you fell out of the Uber. And Oh my God. Yeah, that's terrible when you have to actually like do something the next
Yeah, I'm supposed
day.
to be like lifting and moving things. There's no way. I mean, I literally was sitting there, but then all of a sudden Casey came up to me. He's like, so I actually felt sorry for you that you were sick. And now I just found out from Dad that you're just hungover. So I really don't care. And you need to get up and start doing some shit. And I'd be like, oh, I'm going to kill him for telling these kids.
There you go.
I needed to just sit for a little bit. It was too dang hot. But after a couple hours, I was fine. I needed my McDonald's and I didn't have it. We'd gotten up and got moving too early. And I really needed my McDonald's because it truly does cure a hangover.
There you go. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'd like to think that I'm fun without alcohol, but
Well, I've been asked if I'm drunk and I don't have any alcohol. And people be like, "What is going?" Like, are you drunk or something? Because I'm having so much fun, and that's why I say I think it's a permission slip. If you're acting silly, goofy, whatever, people like act like no big deal if you're drunk. But if you're not drunk, then they'll be like, "Is there something wrong with you? Like, why are you like like acting silly? You know what I mean? Are you drinking? Do you see alcohol around me? I just enjoy life and laughing." So it just is what it is. And if I'm having fun, I mean, I should be able to have fun drinking or not.
So part of me, at this pub that my friend had, we would have karaoke nights. And like, I can't, in my head, in my life, like, I don't feel like I can sing, but I would get drunk and I would think I was fucking Shania Twain or whomever, that I am Taylor Swift, like go hard. I can sing like a rock star. Like I am one of the Dixie Chicks, whatever. And like people would actually like compliment my singing, which would make me laugh because I'm like, okay, is it the confidence? Is that what the alcohol is giving me? Is the confidence, or is it the I don't give a fuck? Like where I can just go out and belt it, where I'm not like, you know what I mean? It's just, and so some of those nights were the best or funnest nights because I would let loose. Now I am a fun drunk, and then there is a line, and if I cross it, then it's blackout puking, like, so I have to know but for some reason, Tito's and Red Bull, like whatever. There were times I remember when we had a conference at Margaritaville we went to bed at like 4:30 a.m. and we're like in the conference room at 8, like ready to go. Like, no way. Ready to go.
But one of the people younger than me, so that's the thing about it. That's why I'd be like, I will be going to bed because there's no way. There's no way.
Yeah, there's a line, and you don't want to cross it. But since that job, like I don't feel the need to drink. Like,
I do think that definitely stressors from, life in general. But I think a lot of times people do get tied towards work, especially that it's like they need to come home and wind down and. And alcohol is what a lot of people turn to. Like I said, I feel like there's other things that people could focus their time on. And there's other things that we can all work towards to be not using that as a crutch instead, use other things. But I just think that alcohol is easy. That's why people do it.
So I mentioned Charlie Kirk because he did not drink. Charlie did not drink. And there are videos that circulate that he says like, the most intelligent people are the richest people in the world. He's like, look them up. Like they don't consume alcohol.
Yep.
Whether you like him or you don't, Donald Trump doesn't drink alcohol.
Right.
There are a lot of...
one of the reasons I think that they can stay up as many hours as they can and things like that. I mean, seriously, like alcohol, no matter what, even if you drink it, it's going to take away your, vitality or whatever.
And how quickly it can turn from socially to alone. How quickly it can turn from just having a drink socially to having a drink every night, from having a drink every night to relying on it. And it's just this vicious cycle. But also I can appreciate, and I'm cognizant of it because my boyfriend's sober, but like alcohol is everywhere. Again, I think the tides are turning because of recent events. I think that more people are sober. You hear California sober, which we'll get into that. But more people are becoming sober. But think about it. Weddings, you drink. People have problems if you have a sober wedding. And they probably won't stick around that long. Social events, you drink. We have it's called the Harvest Fest that we have for our Catholic school, a fundraiser. There's a beer tent. There, as a world, as a whole,
we have food and alcohol.
We have food and alcohol, and we promote it, and we make money off of it. Baseball games, hockey games, all of those things. I'm pretty sure you can drink it. Can you drink at the zoo? No, you can drink at the zoo.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You can drink at Grant's Farm. Like everywhere you go, there is an opportunity. And I can imagine as an alcoholic or someone sober, like that is hard that every corner you turn, every single place you go, you're faced with the opportunity.
Yes.
It's right there in front of you.
Yep.
And it's hard. And you just want, I think you just want the voices to quiet and the anxiety, or you want to shut work down, or you want to you want to run away from your problems instead of face them head on. And alcohol just makes it that much easier.
You think that's the problem. I think is that people feel like it's a great escape, and they feel like it's going to help them get through it, when in reality they're not dealing with it. So those problems never get away. They actually usually become worse, and that's where the cycle and the problems, I think, become addiction. And you just get stuck in this kind of rut, I think it's just kind of how it is. Now let's talk THC, edibles, gummies, vapes, the mom-approved alternatives, where you accidentally eat the whole gummy instead of half, and suddenly you're just one with the couch. Let's talk about that.
Oh my God. I have a story for that too. One time we were at one of these conferences, these leadership conferences, and we had to get on stage, and we had to, well, only a select few of us. There were like 800 people there, and only like 10 of us had to get on stage and talk. And I was so anxious about it. And one of my girlfriends was like, hey, I brought Xanax for the plane. Like, take half of it. You'll be fine. Cause like I overthink, I get nervous, I freak out, I don't know what to say, all of the things. Well, she forgot to bring me the Xanax, but she's like, I have a gummy. It'll calm you down. She forgot to tell me to take half. And so I get on the stage. One, I had cotton mouth like a mofo. So I pound like 2 bottles of water because I couldn't talk because I had cotton mouth. And I think at one point I called out the company that we worked for and was like, well, we all know the equipment we have is shit. Like things I wouldn't have said just because I was really chilled out with gummies. But I also had gotten to a place. Anyway, it was the worst presentation that I've ever done in my entire life. And well, I thought when I watched the video, it wasn't that terrible, but it wasn't great. It wasn't my proudest moment anyway. But I love me some THC. THC can chill you out. It helps my anxiety. It calms my anxiety. I feel like it almost sometimes makes me more productive. Like when I have to get stuff done, it can quiet my mind so then I can move on and do like the right thing. I love weed. I love to smoke it. I love to eat it. I love gummies. I love Rice Krispies.
Okay, but like 20 to 30% of people report increased anxiety or paranoia with higher THC doses. So I think this is where, okay, like when you talked about the age difference in our opinions.
Yes.
That's the thing is, I think is that we've seen people become paranoid and have all these different issues with THC. And yet they'd all promote to you and tell you that it's the best thing. It's going to be turn our world. We're going to get gasoline from it and the whole 9 yards. I had a friend who constantly researched on stuff to do with what you could do with this stuff to make our world a better place and how we should really be doing that and blah, 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 blah. But he would sometimes drive me home. And when he would, I would he had this little tiny compartment on the top of his dashboard. And it was like you flipped, I don't even know the purpose for this thing other than it was for his pipe. But he didn't.
What kind of car?
Very convenient. So I would a lot of times before I would get out of his car, though, I'd flip that thing up and then I'd get out and he'd just shake his head because he knew I was always like, okay, dude, there's a point where there's like, stop smoking the pot. I mean, like, I don't care if people smoked it. I knew plenty of people who did. I mean, morning, noon, and night. That was like their life. And some of my friends that I knew that would do it, they would like laugh and laugh and laugh till it was like obnoxious laughing. And you'd be like, seriously, shit is not that damn funny. I don't care what in the hell you're taking, but they would be laughing so much. And then, the next group would just sit there and barely speak. And I would just be like, well, who the hell wants to do that? Like, I understand sometimes, like when we talk about life and you get stressed out and whatever, and that maybe somebody's like, no, I just need a good like veg. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that a lot of times it was like, now we did have one guy, he smoked pot all the time and he was our designated driver.
I was going to say, like statistically, you don't know,
you don't typically hear of as many like accidents and different things because they tend to slow down Not to say though that doesn't mean that that's not a problem. And I can tell you that driving down the road all day long now when I'm out for work, I smell pot on a regular basis coming from a car next to me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like
walking around stores, especially in the winter, because smoke, I feel like just thickens in the winter.
Yes.
Like it just sits, like you can almost like see it sitting in the air. And so like I when I was shopping the other day, everyone freaking reeked of weed. And
I mean, it's like just, and that is where, I mean, I was, you know, a young kid at the time. The kid that smoked pot took his time. He was chill. He didn't overly crazily smoke it. He smoked just enough. So he was way better of a choice to drive us around, obviously, than somebody's drinking alcohol. And he never got into a car accident. He never ran a stop sign. You know what I mean? He never did anything. He was never like going too slow. Like he drove what you're supposed to be doing. He paid attention. He was driving well. And was the best decision for sure. But he also he was a typical guy who smoked a lot of pot. What's up, man? Hey, dude. Right on.
Yeah. What did he become in life? Like, I feel like it does.
I really don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Cause he wasn't somebody who was, I mean, I was with him all the time, but just cause he was like friends with most of my friends. And so I got along with him well and talked to him obviously and stuff like that. But he wasn't somebody that like I stayed in contact with. So I don't really know. And I do think a lot of the people that I've seen, some of the ones that were very much like that I was friends with, a lot of them are in a band, have nothing to do with bands. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly the typical thing that you would think from back then you would do if you were somebody that consumed a lot of marijuana.
And it's, I guess for me is I don't understand why it is taboo to so many people, because especially now where we live, Illinois, Missouri, and you know, a lot of the states, it's legal. It's legal.
Okay, but it is legal. But does that mean we need to consume the amounts that now everybody consumes? I think that's where the problem's coming in. I don't care.
Overconsumption of anything, alcohol, the weed. I get it, but I still think there's this negative view of anyone that does pot or smokes pot.
I'm the least probably judgmental about other people's lives anyways. And I personally don't care. I don't care what it is that people are doing. Right. So it doesn't, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I have friends that we hang out and it's hilarious when they're on it and I don't care. And I don't like it because I hate cottonmouth. Like I cannot stand that. I don't know even. And everybody I talked to, I was like, oh, yeah, you're going to get I can't stand that. There's no way. I have no interest in that.
I mean, very rarely do I have it with gummies. Now, the gummies sometimes taste like grass. For real.
Yeah. And that's right. I mean, there's a lot of things about it where I just don't like it. But it's at the same time, I understand why people are doing it. And yes, it is legal. I think that there's some people have benefits from different things from it. There's reasons why they do it. And I don't think there's anything wrong. I mean, instead you don't want to drink and you want to have a gummy or smoke a joint or do whatever you want. You know, and I don't care. But I also do think that no matter what, I feel like a lot of times that it's gotten to a point that people are over consuming it now. Worse than it was even when I was a kid and they were consuming it. And I think that people think, well, it's medicinal and, you know, it's like a
So it is medicinal, but just like anything, yes, the doctors will prescribe it and you can get your medical card for anxiety, but it does just make it worse. Or you get to the point where you have to smoke so much to make it help.
It's still, at the end of the day, it's still a drug.
Now, just like I want to get you high. I'm not going to lie. I'm sitting here thinking like, oh my God, I want to get high with you because I think we would be so creative and it would be so funny and you would laugh fucking 50 times harder.
I like when if you're talking to me about something, I know that you are nowhere near as creative. So sometimes I'm like, you know, why don't you smoke a joint or something? Because you would really get the juices flowing.
Yes. And sometimes
they don't come out of it.
Yes. So for me, I don't want to get a medical marijuana card because you can't have a gun. You can't have a FOID card, and I have a handgun because I bought a handgun because I had intentions on concealing and carrying, which now I know I won't do because I don't trust myself. Not that I don't trust myself with a gun, like I'll shoot somebody, but I will shoot somebody accidentally because I'm an idiot. So there's that. And I'm going to sell the gun, but it's expensive. So if you don't have a medical card, it's freaking expensive.
Yes.
But also, it has a lot of negative impacts just on my skin, my hair, you know what I mean? Like what it does to my body. So as I'm trying to be healthier and live a healthier life, I've stopped smoking pot. But yes, there are times where I want to be creative and I want to have some fun and whatever. I am so intrigued by THC though, because there are lots and lots and lots of different kinds and types and ways that they make you feel. Now, the way they tell you on the website it makes you feel is not always accurate, because you can react differently. But like, for example, there's indica or there's sativa. And indica, and to remember it, it's indica, couch. And so if you smoke or eat or whatever, indica, for most people, they're like, well, I don't like indica because it makes me want to go to sleep. But for me, someone with high anxiety, when I smoke or eat indica, it makes me a normal freaking human where I feel like I can live my life. You know what I mean? Like it quiets some of those fears and it quiets that anxiety to where I act like a normal human, not like I'm high strung and whatever.
Right.
And then there's sativa, which makes my anxiety worse and it makes me more anxious and all. So you really gotta find like the type thing. Yeah. And
I've been told it before. Like if you ever want to get involved in anything, you have to kind of like learn trial and error.
And how your body reacts. Because mine with indica normalizes. Everybody else, like if they're going out and want to party, they want to have a sativa. And that, no, I want indica because it's not going to put me to sleep. It's just going to make me normal. And then I can, whatever. They give it to dogs. They give it to just to calm the anxiety.
And for me personally, that's the thing. I feel like there's definitely purposes for it. And I see why for certain things people 100% want to use it. And I understand that some of the people who have gotten into where they've learned it and they enjoy it and they like it. And, you know, like I say, everybody can do whatever they want to do. It doesn't bother me any. I don't care. And I've been with people and it's hilarious, or there's things about it that has been fun to be around those people doing those things. And it's totally great, but I don't know. It's just not my thing. I think it never was my thing when I was a kid or anything. When I was out with friends, like they even knew I could be sitting in a car and everybody be smoking the joint and they would know to pass it past me. I don't like the smell of it. There's like nothing about it that was like intriguing to me. So and then I don't know if I've ever wanted to go through the whole headache, but I've never been like, you know, uppity in the manner of like, absolutely not. Nobody should ever do it. But I will say there are statistics coming out though. And I think it's due to the fact that people are overusing it. They're overutilizing it way too much. And it's causing, it does affect your dopamine. And that can become where it creates people to become more, have more issues and more problems. And then there's also some other new like syndrome or something that's creating, and people are waking up where they're nauseous, vomiting and stuff like that. And it all is due from the fact that they have been using for too much and for too long. And so they have to, but if they stop using it, those things stop happening. So, I mean, there are like, I think the problem that a lot of people have when they talk about it, all of a sudden it's legal and everybody's just like, it's legal, so it's fine. Well, okay, alcohol's legal, but that doesn't mean you should sit around and drink constantly and consume and not think that it's not going to harm you.
It's all of it. Yeah, it's all of it.
Everything's going to harm you at some point. There still has to be where you are intelligent, smart, and use your brain and don't let it take you over. If you do, I mean, anything can take you over. And so THC doesn't just become like, well, all of a sudden it's safe and it's no problem and there's no, well, there is though. You can become addicted to it and then you become overusing. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where a lot of people probably in what you consider the older generation would say about it is like, it's still legal or not. I think too many people are taking it into the whole, well, it's legal so I can smoke it driving down the road. I can smoke it going over here. It's just like it's all day long. They're consuming it. And that's when it's like, okay, well, hello, that's still a problem. Just as if you drank alcohol all day long, it's going to cause you an issue.
Exactly. I mean, it's anything in.
I mean, I'm all for something to have fun. It's whatever. You know, I totally get it.
You're not a fun killer?
No, I'm not. In fact, if anything, you know, my husband and I talk about, because I mean, we enjoy going out and watching the other people who are doing it, because him and I just don't have a desire really to be doing it. But it's like, to watch the people doing it is hilarious. I mean, I have the greatest night ever. It's so fun.
I love me some pot.
So fun.
I'm on a budget and I'm working on my skin. So, but yeah, no,
But it does have its negative effects.
It does have its negative effects. And that's why I've completely backed off. I backed off a lot of things, and that's, for me, I just have I have a very addictive personality. I really do. So I can get addicted to anything. And so it's really just kind of keeping that in check. And for me, it's staying away from it because that's just the way, that's just the easiest way for me. But, there's also nicotine. So.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, those nicotine girlies, we see you, the vape behind the shower curtain. I quit, but it's just still in my glove box, kind of like my friend with his little pipe sitting in there.
Yeah.
and it's still always there waiting because you never know.
And nicotine is a tricky one because people genuinely feel like nicotine calms them. But
yes,
at the end of the day, nicotine increases your baseline anxiety over time. So you get relief from symptoms the nicotine itself is creating. And I was a smoker, and that's where I just mentioned everything, whether it's weed, whether it's alcohol, both of those things made me want to smoke cigarettes. Well, yeah. Smoking cigarettes is obviously very, very bad for you. Not to mention they're $12 a pack now. So
there's two.
For me, I have to abstain from all of it because I can't control myself. So,
well, and I smoked for a couple years, and it was when I was young, and, and I can say that I understand why the people who continue to do it, but I think the biggest habit of it is the social aspect of when you're talking to somebody and you have something that you're doing. So I think everybody says, oh, it's all about the nicotine. And I'm 100% believe nicotine's addictive, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, I think there's more to it with a cigarette or vaping, because it also comes down to, it's that habit of if you're doing something. So if I was sitting with you and every time we talked and we smoked together, but and now I'm going to put it down and you're not, or something that would be weird. I wouldn't know what to do with my hands, or it just becomes an additional habit of doing something, not even just I'm jonesing for the nicotine. It's more than that.
Us here sitting talking about it right now, though, I would kill a motherfucker for a cigarette. I'm not even kidding. Just talking about it makes me want a cigarette so bad. Yeah. I can hardly stand it.
Yeah. Well, and see, that's the thing is, I think it never, I don't know that it ever for a lot of times.
I'm going to yell across the room, Brad, can I have a cigarette? Because I'm telling you, what is wrong with me?
Yeah. But I do think that's a whole big thing. And I think that it's an appetite suppressant too. That's why a lot of people don't want to give it up either. They feel hey, it kind of keeps my weight in check. I had gained 30 pounds since I had quit. And lots of people I've known through the years that has happened.
I need something productive to do with my hands. Maybe I should knit.
Get those fidgets.
That doesn't feel so gay.
Oh my God.
I need to knit. I need something. Fidgets. I'm going to figure with my fidget spinner. I want, maybe if I knitted something and then at the end I had a nice scarf to wear, or I had a nice penguin to give my daughter. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I need something to do with Grandma. My hands.
Talk about. Okay, and the fidget spinners, you just act like you just spun a wheel. She acts like she's just spinning a wheel. Ding, 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 ding. There is I've played with them to where they are seriously addictive, which probably is, everything can be addictive. It was seriously addictive, the neat things you can do, the way you can flip it in your hands and spin it on your finger. And that's way more than just, I'm just going to sit and spin a wheel.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really cool ones out there and they're fun. And that's the thing. I think if somebody wants to put something down, you have to find something else too, because it's bigger than just nicotine. It has a lot to do with the habit of I'm doing something with my hands, and I've got to find what I can do to replace that.
Here's the root truth. Substances feel like a quick fix because they temporarily lower the volume of your anxiety.
But long term, they usually make the anxiety worse, louder, and more unpredictable.
And we're not anti anything. We're pro awareness, pro asking, is this helping long term, or is it just numbing me short term?
Okay, so let's talk about the alternatives that don't just wreck your sleep, your nervous system, or your next day mood. Quick, simple, mom-approved tools.
Splash cold water on your face or put an ice pack under your eyes. It literally resets your nervous system. The 30-second cold face trick.
Oh, that's kind of like a...
Nora does it all the time.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh. Okay, so I've got one: humming, singing, slow exhale breathing, all free, all legal, and all helpful. And honest to God, remember I told you.
Here we go. I know what she's going to say.
I started my humming. I definitely do hum. The whole breathing doesn't do anything for me. Like there's so many people tell me, oh my God, that breathing in so many seconds and out so many seconds like helps them so much. It really does not do anything for me. I swear to God, I will hyperventilate. But humming, definitely like that, but the boring hum, not a hum like a tune, like that weird hum.
Yeah, that is fucking weird.
It's weird, but I'm not kidding you. The vibration I think in my body is what like calms me.
Mom, we need to get outside, move our body, and pretend you're storming away dramatically. It works.
Oh, you guys need to walk more for sure.
That's why I was calling out my mom. We've got to start walking.
You
But
have
it's
to
so
start
fucking
walking.
cool, man. It is like
I've been telling you to go to the mall or something.
I said we're gonna get side by side treadmills.
Yes, you need to do something. You got to get back to
that. Doesn't help with my dogs though. My aunt's like, just bundle up. It's fine. She goes every day. I know. I need to be more like her.
Okay, swap rituals, not feelings. So if you love the ritual of a drink, mocktails, tea, sparkling water, fancy cups, trick your brain.
See, I just don't want the calories. So whatever.
Yeah, but there's a lot of those things you can do for low calorie.
Give your brain a task. Anxiety hates direction. Clean one counter, fold 5 shirts, organize the junk drawer. Small wins equals calmer brain.
Journaling, but like the lazy way. Set a 2-minute timer and brain dump. Done.
For sure. There are lots of ways we can calm our anxiety. And we just want to live and be our healthiest selves. And so figuring out how we do that in the safest, healthiest way possible, I think that's the goal here.
Yes, I totally agree.
So whether you enjoy a drink, a gummy, or vape, you're not a bad mom or a bad person. You're just trying to quiet the chaos. With a disclaimer, I just keep seeing bad things about vaping. Don't vape, people.
Don't vape.
You don't even know what it's doing. There is not enough research around it. There are, you vape one time and it can give you lasting
popcorn lung
effects, and you need your lungs.
Yes.
And dying a death because your lungs don't work like they're supposed to. Jan and I used to work in a
respiratory medical equipment. And so you hear a lot of stories about these respiratory patients. And I know a lot of it unfortunately stems from smoking. And that comes to smoking is smoking. No matter what you're smoking, probably not the best thing.
And I was thinking, pulmonary fibrosis, which is where, your lungs are supposed to be elastic. They're supposed to be able to expand and contrast, and that's how they work. Mm-hmm. And we've encountered so many people with pulmonary fibrosis, and that's where your lungs harden and they don't expand and contrast, and you can't get out the CO2. And can you imagine dying and feeling like you are suffocating to death? And
so here, what I used to do? So I would I'd even tell the people in my branches, just so they could understand what it's like to live like these people. So any listeners can even try it. Take a straw and put it in your mouth. You can try a thicker straw and then go to a smaller straw.
I was going to say like a coffee stirring straw,
yes.
One of the very, very tiny ones.
And just sit there for a few minutes, just breathe in and out and just through that straw. And that's how much, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. And that's how it happens for these people. We're all doing the best we can. Awareness over shame. And if you're working on cutting back or being more mindful, we're proud of you.
We'll leave you with this. Your anxiety wants quick relief. Your future self wants long-term peace. Find the balance that honors both.
We love you. We get you. And we're right here with you in the village. See you next week.
If no one's told you lately, let me be the one to say it. You're not failing. You're growing. You're not broken. You're becoming. And you're doing better than you think. Thanks for being here today. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love if you'd subscribe, leave a review, or share it with another mom who might need to hear this. You can also connect with us on Facebook or TikTok at the ARMC. We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, give yourself grace, breathe deep, and remember, peace is possible.